Okay, for this drawing, we are going to begin starting with our AutoCAD with new template. We use our class template CMA82 and select View. And from the 3D View pull down, you may select Southeast Isometric. And at this time, it is best to save this view as a home view. Right click on the home icon and set current view as home. You may want to turn the grid off by pressing F7. Now my UCS is parallel to the floor, which is default UCS, what we call world UCS. On this UCS, we will create the box. Create a box, selecting a point, having the length selection from the sub command. Press F8 to turn ortho on and set your line direction parallel to x-axis. Type 4.13. On y direction, type 1.88. On z direction, type 0.63. Okay, now we are going to change our UCS 3 points. And selecting the 3 points option, we pick the origin to be on this corner here. And x-axis would be other corner with selecting endpoint. And selecting another endpoint for y-axis. We select those points where XY switches parallel to the screen. Now we are ready to draw our second sketch profile using the line tool. I'm going to begin from this corner here, from the base. My snap off, your grid snap should be off at this point. It would be easy to pick the end point. Your object snap is on, and then set your direction going upward parallel to y-axis. It is best to turn ortho on, F8, and type 2.63 and change your direction of the line to parallel to x-axis. On that direction, type 0.75, where 0.75 is the radius of this cylinder that we're going to draw. So I can use that point as a reference point for center of the circle that I'm creating. And other end can be the radius, or you can type 0.75. Now it's time to draw a line from the tangent point. Hold the shift and make sure your tangent is selected. And pick any point on the circumference of the circle. And other end of the line would be connecting to this corner on the right side of this box. Continue drawing another line going down and finishing that going back to the origin. Make sure that you have closed this profile. Then we want to trim this extra piece of this circle. And also maybe delete that. Use join tool by typing join and select all these lines that you have created. An arc also. and then press enter. We extrude this profile by selecting extrude tool and press enter. And on the direction going on Z direction, positive Z direction, type this thickness of 0.63. If you subtract 1.88 from 1.25, that's what 0.63. At this point is the best to union these two pieces. So we have one solid rather than two pieces. Now they are joined by union. I'm going to draw a cylinder. The center of this cylinder would be center of this object snap center should be on. And radius of that is 0.75. And the height or z-axis direction also would be 0.75. If you subtract 1.38 from 1.38 minus 0.63, that should be 0.75. And I'm going to union these two also at this time. Now we can check, make sure everything is correct by switching to the shade if you like. You can check that, see if this looks fine. Now at this point, we need to add two fillets on these corners, and also we need to add hole, remove that part of this to create a hole. To do that, we can select the face, which we are already on the parallel to that. We can do that just to create another cylinder by selecting the center, and radius of that would be 0.63 divided by 2, which you may divide that and it should be 0.315 as a radius. Or you can type the diameter, switching back to the diameter, and now is asking for what direction and what size or what's the height. I'm going to go on negative Z, this one, and I just pick a point. So it doesn't have to be exact because this is going to be subtracted. So like drilling the hole, you don't have to be perfectly equal to this Z-axis height. So you can just make it extended and then you subtract. For union, of course, has to be exact, but for subtract, doesn't have to be. Subtract and select the main solid that you have already. And again, order of the operation is important. You do the union before you subtract. And then select that cylinder. And that cylinder removes the material and now creates the hole. The fillet in 3D is pretty much the same command that we have used in 2D. You type fillet by typing fillet from the keyboard. We can type F and then select the object. And it's going to ask you enter the fillet radius, which in this case 0.25. Then it's going to ask you select an edge, which we have already selected this side, and I'm going to select this edge. And then press enter to add the fillets. And that completes our model. On the next, I'll draw.